Hello, 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 hello. How's everyone doing today? It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. Actually, yeah, we'll go with Friday after you finish work is the best day of the week. Because while Saturday is nice, Sunday has the problem where you have work the next day. So Friday after work is the best because you have the least amount. Because the Saturday you start worrying about going back to work. Yeah, Friday after work is the best day of the week. Saturday's nice, but by the end of Saturday, you're like, oh, tomorrow's Sunday, and then I gotta start worrying about work. I think Friday after work. Overall, in terms of the best full day, yeah, probably Saturday. In terms of the best, like, part of the week, though, is Friday after work, I think. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? I'm just clean up a little room, been doing some printing, doing some testing. I did a test print on the Venture XL. Behold, a dwarven helmet. Why did I print a dwarven helmet? Because I don't know. Why not? I needed something to test on the Venture XL that was kind of like the stuff I plan on printing on it, cosplay prop stuff, and I figured, hey, the children yearn for the mines or something. I don't know. So, hey, dwarven helmet. It's got a few issues because I was adjusting settings while I was printing, and I finally figured out pressure advanced smooth time does something. Can you tell the section of the print? Can you tell the section of the print where I played around with pressure advanced smooth time? It's right there. I was wondering why I was getting these weird under extruded sections, like where layers start and stop, and it wasn't consistent or anything. So I had pressure advanced smooth time set to like 0.04, which is like the default. So I tried turning it off, which made it worse. And then I went to 0.06, and now I don't have that issue anymore. This print does have some issues because it's PETG and it's pretty gummy, and the settings aren't 100% perfect. It's a little rough on the top layer, a little pillowing, but it's functional. Andrew Rogers, $10, cheers and appreciated. And for the Friday fun, dwarf fun, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy hole. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. You can go up here. There you go. Or helmets on top of the printer. And then I printed this on it too. So this is in Prusament, Emerald Green, Galaxy Green, I think. PLA. Fresh off the printer. There is a little bit of stringiness to it. But it's wispy strings. Pretty much anything that I'm going to be printing on the big guy. Look at all that skirts and whatnot I've left on there. Anything I print on that big guy is probably going to get post-processed anyways. Like sanded and painted and whatnot. So I'm not too concerned about wispies. I'm more concerned that it's functional and it's actually doing it what I want it to do. So that's kind of like the goal with that printer. So there we go there. Are any of my Vorons 2.4? Yeah, I've got 3 Voron 2.4s. 2 are up and running. 1 is partially disassembled. Okay, so what are we doing today? Well, first I'm gonna have a delicious drink of my Gamersups. Use code Canuck, or go get some, use code Canuck, save some money. But we're carrying on with the Delta Flyer build. This is a Delta Flyer. It's a Delta. Look at it fly. No. LDO kit, 3D printer kit by Rolohan, the guy who did the Rook. So this is like his next thing, I guess. So we're gonna carry on building this guy. You're Petchy. Yeah, you're Petchy. We're gonna carry on with that build, see how far we get. I do want to load up the Venture XL with some CF PETG. Now that I have a nozzle in it that I can print CF PETG reliably and consistently and do some tuning, because I want to start printing I want to start printing stuff for the astromech on it because I think we're good. The printer is now in a good state to do work again. But I kind of want to enclose it first, which might be tomorrow's stream. So I might get some CFPETG in it loaded. I need a spool holder. Does anyone have a recommendation for like a big spool holder? It's got to fit like the 3 kilogram polymaker spools. I'm preferring a hub. I don't want it to roll on something. I'm preferring like a nice smooth rolling hub. I got to print something for a spool holder for those big spools. I see the Lemontron. I seen that video was in like my YouTube homepage. I didn't watch it. Isn't the Lemontron just a positron that uses less like custom parts? Isn't that what it is basically? The Delta Flyer kit from Fabrico comes with free printed parts for the Black Friday sale. Well, there you go. You can purchase this kit, this Delta Flyer kit from LDO Motors. The LDO doesn't sell directly, so you can't purchase it from LDO Motors, but you can purchase the kit from LDO Motors wherever fine LDO products are sold. Also, as part of this build series, every stream as part of this build series, we are giving away one of these guys. Really cool power supplies from LDO Motors. These are the LCP 324D5. The D stands for D. It's a dual voltage power supply. So it's 275 watts of 24 volts and 25 watts of 5 volts. So if you want a fun little compact power supply for a printer build or any other electronic product, LCO has them. And hey, you might win one at the end of the stream because we're going to give one away. While you're down there, we're also giving away, enter for your chance to win some polymaker filament. Every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. A bunch of companies are having Black Friday sales right now, polymaker included. Check them out, link in the description. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra, go a long way in supporting the channel. Some of them, like Gamer Subs, Glue, Bloop's Lab, use code Canuck, save some money as well. And then also, what else is going on? I got the Core 1L. I'm finally, it printed, for those that don't know, I am working on a Core 1L video. It's printed all the parts that we're using for this build series. I'm also doing generic print stuff on the printer for testing print stuff. So I've got a bunch of stuff. I'm piling up stuff on top shelf here for stuff. It's printing that Fantasy Castle print that like I think everyone has probably printed at some point. So it's coming along actually really good, but it's going to run out of filament. So I'm going to have to do a filament swap on it. And I don't have any more of that filament. So unfortunately, it's going to have yeah, but it's coming along pretty good. It's coming along pretty good. It's coming along pretty good. So yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I think we're about ready to get into the build. Yeah, I think we're good there. So where did we leave off? We left off last week. We got the frame all assembled. We've got our Z carriages installed, our belts tightened. We have the bed itself installed. We also have these little cover panels. For those that are wondering about the colors, this is Prusament ASA Galaxy Black. This is Prusament PETG Orange. Yes, I know it's not all ABS. Yes, I know this printer is technically enclosed, but I'll be honest, I probably don't plan on printing ABS on this machine. So the enclosure on this is to kind of keep kids' fingers out kind of thing. So this is mostly going to be a PLA machine. Bread arrives pre-assembled, plug and play. Woohoo! Put the covers on. We did that last week. Okay, now attach the top electronics panel using 12 M36 screws. They are marked. Okay, we can do that. So, top electronics panel. Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. Don't think anything broke. You saw nothing? You saw nothing. Okay. Let's not catch those. So we're gonna need this guy, What do I have? Okay, I've got a bunch of these panels. Did I print these twice, or is that just how they are? Okay. So, A, B, C. Okay, so let's make that match that. Okay, so C goes here. And then A, B. Okay, so there's some that say B LED and some that just say B. I'm assuming, okay, just B, yeah. Okay, so B. And then A. No, wrong, A. Okay. Why do I have different standoffs? Why do I have different standoffs? Oh, wait. Standoffs are different. Okay. Let me double check these parts because I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night. 1 second here. They might have printed both the DZ panels. Yeah, I think I printed both. Let me just double check which ones are which. So these are the Manta panels. Okay, so not those ones. Okay. So I want the ones that match this, because the ones for the Manta are those ones. Okay, so let me just get rid of these ones. Okay. Yeah, so you're no good. You're no good. You're no good. Yeah. Okay. Prusa and Orca, which do you prefer? I don't prefer either of them. They both have their specific use case. I use Prusa Slicer for all my Prusas. I use Orca Slicer for pretty much everything else. That's kind of how I do it. So the Venture XL, I'm using Orca Slicer. My Borons, I use Orca Slicer. My Prusas, I use Prusa Slicer. Also, I'm using Prusa Slicer because it's the only one with the profile for the Core 1L right now. So, yeah, I use whatever. I am not a whole, like, if somebody comes out with something better, I will use it. But it's just so easy to use Prusa Slicer with the Prusas because it's got Prusa Connect built in and everything. It just, yeah. So M36s, so we put these on. So we'll see how far we get in the build today. I do want to faff around with the Venture XL for a little bit just to get some CF PETG loaded in it and start printing some stuff on it that I need to start calibrating for the CF PETG. I've got it calibrated for PETG. That's what I was printing that helmet for and a bunch of other stuff to ensure that my PETG profile was roughly calibrated, but I do need to final tune it for the CF PETG I'm going to be using. So we might dip into that at the end of the stream. It depends. It depends on where we get to with this build. And if we get to like a point where it makes sense to stop for the day kind of thing. Because I don't like partially getting through something and having to leave it for the next day. This printer is pretty. I'm really digging this orange-black color scheme. Yeah, I can dig it. Oh no. The little, I think I've dropped it enough that I've lost my, the little plastic diffuser for the LEDs finally fell out. Spool's running low? I know the spool's running low. I know it is. When it does, it'll error out and go, hey, feed me more filament, and I will feed it more filament. And this time I know it's going to run out, so I'm not going to leave it for like a whole day so that the parts shrink and cause a layer shift when I resume it. Is the second question, what second question? There should only be one question. Yeah. I always ask something that is not quite like I can guess your answer, but it's always something that like you fill out in those questions, because it's a way I use to verify that you are a human popsicle. You are a meat popsicle. It's surprisingly, you'd be surprised at how many people are scummy and will try to scam people out of like a free spool of filament. I have had people reach out to me, like DM me or email me and go, hey, I want a spool of filament last week. My name is so-and-so. I never got your email. Send it to this email instead. And I'm like, hey, what did you put for the answer? And they're like, and it's like, yeah, you're not that person. So the question that you see is there specifically, so I have, think of it like a password. Think of it kind of like a password or a, it's an encryption key. It's an encryption key. We'll go with that. It's basically just to ensure that, you know, I have a way of, somehow if I need to, you know, what's a secret code word, I can do that if I need to. Because again, you would be surprised at how scummy and petty some people are when it comes to a free spool of filament. So that actually works pretty good. I mean, I probably could have printed this whole, I probably actually should have done something like, let's see, can I do this? Wait. So what I could have did, let's see here. No, not that. I could have pulled all three of these parts into the slicer, arranged them and joined them so that I wouldn't have the gap. I could have done that. Bearded Printer gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciate it. That's like one of those little pro tips that you, like, I don't think a lot of people realize. You can connect parts in your slicer. So if you're printing a multi-part print, but you have like the parts broken down to fit on smaller printers, right? Because a lot of people break down parts to fit on like the 250 size. That's what the most common size printers are: Bamboos, Prusas, Enders. 250 is like, if a lot of people design stuff to print on 250. But if you got like a 600, like this bad boy, and you're like, well, I could just print the whole dome at once instead of printing each individual sections, you could just join the parts in your slicer or Windows 3D Builder or any basic CAD software, merge them together, and then just print it as one thing. You can do that. It's pretty nice. It saves you some time. Yeah, you can merge parts. Yeah, like for example here, so, you know, on models, astromech, body, basic body. So like these are the three body parts for the astromech, but I could just, you know, oh yeah, it's one part. So like, you know, just merge them together in there. They're not all arranged. I'd have to arrange them all. But anyways, you know what I mean? Like you could just, you know, instead of having to print them on 3 different beds, you could just, you know, I have the Z. I could just, you know, stack these all on top of each other and print it as one solid piece if I really wanted to. I'm not going to, because that's, you know, risky, because now you're adding multiple time to the print, because you have to weigh the pros and cons. Printing stuff big in one piece, hey, that's nice, but now you might need more support. Parts that are designed to print in a certain layer orientation, you might not be able to get that same layer orientation if you merge them together. And also, you now take a print that's a day and a half and turn it into a 6-day print. I'm okay trusting, you know, my power to not flicker, because it flickers maybe once a month, maybe, because they're doing a bunch of construction around me, where the power just kind of goes. On something like my Prusa, I don't care. On something like a giant Voron, where there is no power resume because clipper, I'm concerned. So a 6-day print, that's a big gamble. So, okay. Assemble and install the Hotend. Ooh, we're doing Hotend stuff. That's hot. Okay. So we're going to need to attach the TR6 Hotend mount to the effector using 4 M3/8 screws. Okay. So we're going with that, with that, with that. And then I think I need the Hotend. Where did I put it? Oh, I think it's over here. Behold the end. Oop. Behold the Hotend. It is an end. It is hot. Hopefully there's a nozzle in here somewhere. Did they give me a nozzle? Did a nozzle fall out? I don't see a nozzle. Did they not give me a nozzle? Is it in here? Am I? Did the nozzle fall out? Oh, there's the nozzle. The nozzle's at the very bottom. Okay, we got a nozzle. We got a nozzle. We got the nozzle. We're good. There we go. Okay. What is this? So everyone's like copying the Extruder style continuous thing. I might have something slightly better. Let me take a looky-loo. I don't know which nozzle style that is, but Fadus did send me a bunch of random stuff earlier in the year, and I'm wondering if... No, these are compatible. I think these are for Enders, yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I was like, ooh, maybe I have like some fancy nozzle that I've been holding on to. It's like, nope. Okay, I'll put this together. This predates an Extruder? Really? Oh, that's cool. I need to get more small adjustables. I'm so sad of losing all my stuff or misplacing everything constantly. Gotta stop doing that. Oh well, tighten this nozzle up. Okay. I don't know which way this has got to go, so I'm just going to put it there for now. We'll move it if we need to. I just want to have it together so it's all in one piece. Okay. So this garbage. Ceramic heating core, fragile, handle with care. What does fragile mean? It's like Italian, right? Okay. M3/8. Did you catch your Index pre-order? I did not. I woke up on Wednesday. I brought the little guy to school. I came after school. We went out, did some errands. So I didn't get home Wednesday until like, if you're wondering why there wasn't Twitch streams this week, I was going to do a Twitch stream either Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday I got home and it's like I would have had an hour to stream, so I didn't do it. And then yesterday was kind of a mess. There was stuff happened in the morning. So yeah. But yeah, by the time I got home on Wednesday, all the pre-orders were gone. So I am in the help me review unit, you're my only hope category when it comes to that. So hopefully. Okay. So for this screws into plastic, it looks like. We're screwing into plastic here. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I guess it is what it is. But something you should probably want to add to this manual, Kenrog, since you're here, is the note about, hey, when you're screwing into plastic, be sure not to strip the threads. Be very careful because you're screwing into plastic and you can strip the threads. So a little word of caution about when you're screwing into plastic. Don't over tighten it because you will rip the plastic out and then you're reprinting the part. And that's no bueno. So yeah, high temp Hotend, 8 tools on a Core 1. How many tools will fit on a Core 1L? It's, yeah. See, it's a good thing I didn't do my Core 1L review yet, because everyone who did the Core 1L review is like, there's no high temp Hotend. And then I can be like, there is a high temp Hotend. It is optional. And then everyone's like, I wish all these cool things like the ability for the panel or the vent to open up would be backported to the Core 1. And then guess what? I get to go, hey, it's called the Core 1 Plus and you can download the files and do it yourself. Or if you bought it within the last 60 days, just reach out to Prusa and they'll just send you the stuff. How cool is that? This is why you don't rush out reviews, because you can't review a printer that quickly. Can you install this after? Hopefully you can install this after. Am I going to do the Core 1 Plus upgrade? Oh, yeah. I'll either print the parts myself or yeah, I'll either print the parts myself or I'll see if Prusa wants to send me them. Just so I can go, hey, this is what you get when you buy, if you get the kit or if you buy it. Because you can either buy it or if you order it in a certain amount of time, you can just get them to send it to you. Okay, attach that with 2 M316s. Okay. M316s. So, which way does the wire go? Doesn't really say. I think we can spin it relatively easily. I don't know where that little locky thingy went, but is there a front or back to this? Does this have an orientation? We'll go this way. Sure, we'll go that way. If I can get that to go in. Sure, that kind of works. Cool. And 3/16s. Read the entire step. Attach the TR6 Hotend using M2 16 screws. And then there's a picture at the bottom. Okay, there's a picture at the bottom. So I got to spin this then. Okay, so the Hotend comes out that way. So you come out that side. Also refresh the manual. Oh, make sure the sticker on the fan is facing towards the Hotend. Oh wait, that's that. Attach that using 2 M316s. Ah, cool. Okay, M316s. Yeah, it's like €9 for the parts. Yeah, just print the parts, and then you probably do have, like, I think it's just what? The printed parts and a couple screws and fasteners, which if you're into 3D printing, you probably already have. So, yeah. Like, I was a little worried they'd have to replace the top panel. You'd have to get a new top panel with, like, a slot or something that's compatible with the, the hook to open and close the the vent, but I guess they are able to do it with the already there panel, so that's good. Refresh again. Okay, give me a second. Refresh again. Oh, here you go. No, no. What did you upload? Oh, you're screwing into plastic. Do not over tighten these. Ah, good job. Good job. Okay, so we put that on with 3 fans. So we find our little 3010. Okay, using that. Make sure the sticker on the fan is facing towards the hot end. Okay, and which way does the wire run out? It runs out the side there. Okay. So, you go there. Ahoy, ahoy. So apparently ahoy hoy or whatever was what Alexander Graham Bell originally wanted to be like the official greeting when you call somebody on a phone. I was gonna say cell phone. Graham didn't have cell phones. Which is why Mr. Burns in The Simpsons say ahoy hoy when he answers the phone, because he is that old. Although, are we at the point now? Isn't The Simpsons been on longer than Homer's been alive? Isn't Homer like mid to late 30s and The Simpsons have been on the air for like 37 years? Isn't Homer technically younger than the show? Anyways. Okay, and then we put that, and then we got the 5015 fan, and that is M320s. Okay. I was saying Boo Earns. M320s. Okay. So, what's holding that in? Just one M320. Oh. Oh, it's angled. Okay, I see. It's angled, and then we have an M320 goes through. Route the hot end wires out the left side of the effector, grab a 3010 wire fan and route them all through the cable, really pull in the 50, and attach the cable. Oh, I gotta put this on first. Okay. So, because you have to put these through here because that fan prevents you from putting stuff through there. So there you go. And then you put your fan on. Clever. Clever. There we go. And there is our tool head, our effector. Easy peasy. It's a lot simpler when you don't need to worry. Well, okay, actually, sorry. I lied. We're not done quite yet. I need to install my fan duct. So for those wondering, PET G is the orange part, and this is CF ASA. Everything on this printer is printed on the Core 1L, except for these two parts in CF ASA. They were printed on my Core 1 regular one because that one had a hardened nozzle on it and already had CF ASA loaded in it. Because the best printer that you need, if someone asks me what is the best printer or the printer I use the most, it's whatever has the filament in it that I already needed. And that one already had the filament in that I already needed. So one little stringy bit, peel that off. There we go. Plus, I mean, look at that. Look at that duct. Look at that duct. Look at that duct. There we go. There we go. There we go. So it would be actually kind of nice if you're using a Revo, you could use a Revo PZ. If they have a mount for it, a Revo PZ, because then you could use the nozzle for probing. So you could probe the bed, because this doesn't have a bed probe. So, oh no, you're gonna have to manually level the 110, or you can't manually level it. Or you're just gonna have to, do the calibration. Because the end stops are up top. But anyways, okay. Bolt the effector in the carriage using M320 screws, 12 of them. And they go there and up there. 20 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Where did I read 20? Did I read it backwards? Just like one of my Japanese animes, reading right to left. Okay, M320s. And yes, I know it's manga that's right to left, not anime, but that's the joke. Okay. So I probably should have did this before the stream, but I gotta clean these up. So I used Gorilla Glue, which works pretty good. These are all pretty solid, but you just gotta be careful with Gorilla Glue because it does like foam as it dries, which is one of the reasons I used it. I wanted to fill the gap really good. So the only downside is it foams. So I'm just gonna scrape off the extra foam and then just hit it with like a black marker so you don't see it. Because Sunlu ASA any good? Eh. I will say Sunlu ASA, I don't know. I've never used it. I've used their ABS and it was really good until I got a bad batch that was really bad. So take it as you will. When it comes to filament, I'm more likely, unless it's a really good deal, I just stick with what I know, right? I use a lot of polymaker filament and I use a lot of Prusament. Those two filaments I trust. So I stick with them. With 3D printing, with it being a imperfect science, as I like to call, and with, you know, people being all over the world and supply chains and things cost different things, different amount, and getting stuff, you know, sometimes it's better to get something locally than shipping it. I'm a big fan of find what works for you, and if it works for you, stick with it. Simple as that. Any holiday plans yet? Family stuff? Everyone else is at Form Next, having fun. I think it was Sunlu years ago. I think it was Sunlu. I can't remember if it was some other brand. It was either Sunlu or some other brand that started with an S. This would have been like 2020, 2011, maybe even 2019. Back when I like really got into Voron. And I was printing a lot of ABS. And they had a sale on Amazon with like, I think it was Sunlu ABS. And it was cheap. We're talking like $15 a spool Canadian, or $20. Like it was like 15 US, 20 Canadian, and it was good. So I bought a spool. It printed good. I bought a couple more spools. It was pretty good. And then they ran out of stock. And then it came back in stock. And when it came back in stock, I bought like half a case. I bought like 5 or 6 spools. And the thing was, those spools all sucked. Because it was like contaminated. So what that meant was like it would print great and then something would jam the nozzle. And we're talking like nozzle's dead. We're talking like a hard jam. Like cold pull, like something got physically clogged in the nozzle. Like FOD basically, foreign object debris. And yeah. What am I printing? It's just a fantasy castle. I wanted to put a day plus print on the Core 1L just to put a long print on it, just to see how it handles long prints. I mean, so just to put in perspective, just for, you know, it's printing PLA. The door is closed, vent is open, and it is holding a chamber temperature of 28 Celsius. And that's with the back vent and the exhaust and doing all that, doing its stuff. So. Okay. So now, you go there, you go there. You are garbage. You are garbage. You are garbage. These 3 are not garbage, but they probably are garbage. So I'll just put it there for now. Okay. So now we need to mount this. So, okay, we can see our little magnet there. So that goes there. And then this is the missing wall. So this is facing forward. So this mounts like that. Okay. The only thing I can think of, Canrog, is I know it's pretty obvious, but maybe include one close-up just showing, because these are not the same side. So you might just want to show a picture of a close-up so that the person installing these doesn't accidentally put them in backwards, because you're not calling out anything in the manual here saying specifically how to install these. Just bolt the effector to the carriages using the arms and screws. There is nothing saying this needs to go in this way. Okay, it's pretty obvious that that needs to go in that way, but hey, you know, it could go this way too. Could go this way too. So you might want to just kind of put one close-up image just to ensure that, hey, you know, and also for my sanity, this is the right way to screw it in, right? So you don't want people putting this together backwards and be like, why doesn't this work? It's like, well, you put it together backwards. Well, how am I supposed to know that? Are these the right size screw? No, these are M320s. I need M316s. Oh no, these are M320s. Yeah, M320s. Okay. eSun. eSun used to be pretty goated. They used to have an ABS Plus that was actually really good, but then they changed the formula on it, and it's still okay, but it's not like the goat that it used to be, if that makes sense. Like, they used to have a really good filament for ABS Plus. They had a really good ABS Plus filament, and then they just kind of changed the formula, and it's not as good anymore. Simple as that. Are you sure these are supposed to be M320 screws? Oh no, it does show them sticking out that much. Okay, fine by me. I'm just like, these stick out a lot, but if they're supposed to stick out a lot, they stick out a lot. Have I tried PLA Plus 2.0? I mean, okay. When it comes to these like PLA Pluses and high temps, I use PLA for like stuff that sits on a shelf. I do not print structural or mechanical stuff out of PLA. I can do it, but I have machines that print ABS quite well, ABS and ASA, and even higher temp stuff like PPSs and whatnot. And I have a lot of it. So if I'm going to print something that needs material properties of like higher temp, I'm not going to use PLA Plus or PLA high temp. I'm going to go right to ABS or ASA because I can do that. So I don't really use that stuff too much. And if I do use it, it's literally to print like some random desk trinket. So they stick out, so if you want, you can add rubber bands to the arms for pre-tension. Oh yeah, that's a thing with deltas. That's right, pre-tensioning is a thing with deltas. That is right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Also, I think I want to do a video in front of a, you know how, you know, who remembers Counter-Strike skate videos? Surfing videos, not skate, surfing. Where somebody would just talk about something and you would just have a Counter-Strike surfing video playing in the background and they would talk about whatever. I honestly want to do one of those with the Vortex system from Bamboo. Like, I want to set up my green screen and just have like a video of a printer printing in the background that has nothing to do with the video. And I just want to talk about how much I think the Vortex system sucks. And it's nothing against Bamboo. It's nothing against the price. It is literally, I think that system is a bad system. I really think the Vortex system is a bad system. And it's not bad. They went down the wrong path and it's I don't like it. Subway Surfers. Does anyone have a 3D print for Subway Surfers? I can just have a printer printing Subway Surfers while I rant about something. Okay, so now I'm gonna put these on. It's worse than Index. It is. I spoke about it last stream because obviously on the Tuesday stream it was announced. You know, it wasn't announced. They announced it and then they announced it again. Like hey, this is our system, and then they showed it again at Formnext so they can announce it at Formnext. But they got you all teased and wanting to get it early so that it would take away from everyone else announcing stuff at Formnext. Anyways, it's marketing. But anyways, yeah, it's 40 seconds a change, which literally kills it. It kills some of the main benefits of it. Because, like, you know, a hypothetical benefit of using different nozzle sizes. Hey, you could use to speed up your print, you could print the outer walls in a 0.4 nozzle, and then you could print the infill with a 0.8 nozzle to save time. The problem is you are already at a 30-second deficit. Because compared to a regular tool changer, which does a filament, a tool change in 10 seconds, you have a 40-second tool change because you also have to load and unload the filament every time. So now systems like, 40 seconds. No, it's 40 seconds, Andrew. It's 40 seconds to do a tool change on the Vortec because you still have to wait for the whole AMS system to do the AMS shit. So, like, hey, let's save 15 seconds a layer by printing with a 0.8 nozzle instead of a 0.4 nozzle for infill. Does it make sense when you add that 40-second change? So you're really only you're still, up 15 seconds. So you might as well, like, you're not saving the time there. Like it's I'm really like, wow, this system, once you start looking into it, it loses its benefits really quickly. Also, hi, congratulations Bamboo for bringing another Hotend into your ecosystem. So now we have P1 Hotends, which aren't compatible with X1 Hotends, which aren't compatible with the A1 Hotends. And then, is the A1 Hotend compatible with the H2 series or whatever? But now you have Vortec Hotends, which only work in the Vortec, and they're chipped. So you can't get aftermarket ones, and you can't fix them if they get a hot clog because there's a chip in it. So if you heat them up, you kill the magnet and the PCB might be damaged. And they're basically disposable and they cost $20 more. So if you already have a whole fleet of nozzles for your Bamboos, you have to buy a whole other fleet of nozzles just for the Vortec side. And you can't use the Vortec nozzles in the other Hotend, in the H2D. So you have to keep two separate types of freaking Hotends in stock for your H2D. It's like this, and also it only comes with one AMS. You need two AMSs to use the system. So if you want to use all 7 Hotends, the fixed Hotend and then the 6 Vortec Hotends, you need 2 AMSs, and it only comes with 1. Oh, and a different build plate. Like, holy hell, this system is like nickel and it is nickel and diming you for everything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna set up my green screen and just have a video of Subway Surfers, and I'm just gonna rant about it because it has nothing to do. If any other company had come out with this system, I would be saying the same thing. You should have went all in, and you didn't. And now you got a neutered system. I don't think it's half baked. You know what's starting to scare me? I don't think it's half baked. Like I think I even said it. I'll admit I probably said it. I'm like, oh, this is like a quick reactionary thing to the index system. And honestly, I'm starting to think it isn't. I think this is their attempt to cut down on purge, but still tying you fully into their eco. Like, oh, we have to use the AMS. It's our thing. So how can we cut down on purge, but still use the AMS systems? Because we want to keep those AMS. Like, this will be like the 5th time they've come out and say, we don't like these things, but now we're doing it anyway. So remember how they said bed flingers are dead? And then they come out with a bed flinger? If they came out with a proper tool changer, that would just shit on their previous product line because they're like, oh, the AMS system is great. Nope, the AMS system sucks. Look at our tool changer. So they couldn't do a full tool changer because that would basically make everything else in their lineup obsolete because, between you and me, the moment you use a tool changer, single nozzle multi-material systems suck. The moment you use a tool changer. So it's like, shoot, we can't innovate too fast or we'll kill our current product line. So it honestly feels like them trying to design something to solve the purge problem, but instead of going all in, they're like, no, we got to keep our current, The H2C is the NASA SLS of 3D printers, where it's like, we need this new hot thing, but we want to keep everyone that's working on the supply chain employed. So we're going to come out with a thing that changes the tool, the nozzle, but we're still going to have to use the AMS system. The Bamboo H2C is the SLS of 3D printers. And if you know the meme, if you know what I'm referencing, I'm hoping that makes sense. Look at this, it's a Delta. It goes wee 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 wee. It's doing Delta stuff. Okay, let me actually tighten these now. So yeah, I might do that tonight. That might be this weekend's video. It's just me ranting about why I think the Vortex system is, in my opinion, not good. Like, the only time it makes sense is like, oh, I already have a bunch of AMSs. I need to print. Oh, and you still can't use flexibles. You still can't use flexibles. Or correction, I think you could use one flexible in the left nozzle, the unswitching nozzle, because that's still direct feed, I believe. So you could use one flexible material in the left nozzle, I think. I'm using this, by the way, this electric is on the lowest setting. It moves up and down, so you don't want flexibles. Yeah, but just moving up and down, will that damage the flexibles somehow? Was that attitude? I was not going to get a free one. David 3D Project. I'm already on their shit list. Their printer started smoking in my garage, and I called out their shitty thermal runaway. And then I called out their license changes with, like, you know, restricting stuff to their slicers and whatnot. I called out a bunch of that shit. I'm on their shit list. Bamboo won't talk to me. They're a company that if you critique them, they shut you out because they don't want that. So I'm already on their shit list. When their printer started smoking in my basement, and I sent out a tweet going, why don't you have thermal runaway? And their response was, we do, it takes 3 minutes to kick in, you're panicking, don't worry about it. And they did that publicly. You know, to be fair, I called them out publicly, but they did that publicly, and they didn't even bother contacting me directly. That immediately, yeah, I think that killed any chance of me ever working with them again. Attach the back panel using M310 screws, then attach the BMG extruder using 2 M310s and heat sensor nuts. What? It is a good time to cut and install the PTFE tube to the proper length. Okay, so let's put the back panel on using M310s. So which one's the back panel? Which one's the back panel? I'm assuming it's this one, because this is the front. There's 2 backs. So which is the back? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the cutout. Okay, it's got the notch. So this is the back panel. Okay. So let's grab a back panel. It was funny, Sovol. I had issues with my Sovol SV08. I had a lemon. I called it out. And then Sovol's like, okay. And then they sent me the SV Mini. And guess what? I had people like, why would they send you an SV Mini after you trashed their last printer? I'm like, I didn't trash the last printer. I called out deficiencies in it. And they took that critique and they improved the machine, and then they sent me another one. And guess what? That machine didn't have the same issues. They fixed it. And I liked it. Read slower. Attach the back panel and then attach that, and note that you'll need to cut off part of the BMG mount to clear a grub screw later. Okay. Oh, okay, so we added this, so that's good. That's good. Orientation shown there, perfect. Oh, the back left panel, back left. Yeah, but are we talking stage left or audience left? You know, I'm looking at it, this is the right panel. Like, this is now the front panel to me. What orientation are we talking about? I need a reference. There we go. LDO really loves wrapping up their panels. Real-time documentation updates. That's why we do this. That's why we do this. This is why I purposely try to find faults in manuals when I build stuff. Or at least not faults. I try to find things that, hey, if this was documented better, it would help somebody. Because not everyone has built the Delta before and would understand the proper way to install effector arms, right? I had to go home and bust. Yeah, Drew. Delta is, you would see this kinematic used in pick and place quite often, I would bet. Okay, so this is also, this panel is different. It has a bunch of extra holes in it. So I'm trying to peel off the stupid protective film. Come on. Come on. There we go. Urge to build small Delta is increasing. It's a fun build, honestly. I like small printers. I much prefer building small printers on stream. Don't get me wrong. Now that I have a big printer, it's nice to have a big printer. But when it comes to building a printer on stream, I find it more fun to build small printers. They're easier to build on stream. They don't take up as much room. And let's be honest, putting together a 250 Voron is the exact same as putting together a 350 Voron, mechanically. It's just the 350 takes up a lot more room. This is also pre-production. Are these kits pre-production? I know they're out of stock in a bunch of places, but are they like are these officially pre-production kits? Like, was the first batch like pre-production, you know, testers only type thing? M310s, okay. M310s. They are real. This is a retail kit? Okay. It's a retail kit, but the manual is in early stages, put it that way. And build one of those little micro printers with the CDR. If you know, if somebody had a kit for one of those, maybe. I think there's already plenty of videos of people putting together those kind of printers. Also, be aware, anytime you're screwing a panel onto something, don't over tighten the screws. You can crack the panels pretty easily. Like, I think these are smart and they're, yeah, these are, what was I gonna say? I think these are laser cut, but you still got to be careful with acrylic. They do like to snap. Panels do like to snap, so you don't want to, or crack. I mean, so you want to be careful when you're tightening these screws, not to over torque them. It's just a panel. Does it need to be crazy tight? Although M310 feels like these screws are way too long. M310 feels like these are way too long, but oh well. It's what the manual says. It's what we get. Main use case for Delta? Printing stuff. All kinematics have their pros and cons. Deltas are really fast. Deltas are really fast. They're more mechanically simple than you think. You just need 3 Zs that are the exact same and an effector, right? They're easy to enclose because you literally just put panels on the outside. They were, I think what killed deltas, honestly, is Core XY, Flying Gantry Core XY, a Voron V2.4, for example, does everything a delta does, but better. It has the low center of gravity that a delta does. It has the fixed bed of a delta. It has the fast speed of a delta. It is not as wasteful in the Z as a delta, and it is still pretty easy to enclose. So Flying Gantry Core XY, which is the motion system of Voron V2 uses, for example, in my opinion, does pretty much everything a delta does, but better functionally. So. Yeah, they're compact in the XY, but not in the Z. Also, you have to be careful because the kinematics are at risk of being, it gets, a step distance is different, okay? So your step accuracy has to be compensated for in the firmware, because a step is a different distance from here to here than at the base of the towers. And also your printing isn't really a cylinder, it's more of it's a cylinder that turns into a cone. So it's a finicky motion system. I think its heyday, in my opinion, the heyday of Delta printers were the days before Clipper. If you wanted to go fast before Clipper, a Delta with a light tool head was kind of your go-to option. If you wanted a ripping fast printer, like one of the first printers that was doing speed benchies, if I remember correctly, was a Delta with like a Tri-Gorilla board running Clipper, right? And mounting will be included. Okay, before you say anything, the extruder assembly and mounting. Oh yeah, we gotta put the extruder. Where did I put the extruder? It's I had it, oh, earlier. Shoot, where'd I put it? I had it out earlier. I took it out of the bag and I put it somewhere. Is it in here? No. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's a BMG, right? Where did I put it? Here's the panels. Here's power supply. Where did I put the extruder? No. Not that panel. Where did I put the how do I lose an extruder? Seriously. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. Seriously. How do you lose a Bondtech BMG? Where did I put it? Because I put the whole kit right here. Like I left everything out from it's the Triangle Labs DDE. Well, we have, oh wait, it's with the motor. Oh, here it is. That's right. I had it in a box on the ground, but the box fell over, so I didn't see it. There we go. It's a Triangle Labs DDD. Close enough. Close enough. Okay, so I think it's pre-assembled already. Double check. Yeah, it's pre-assembled. For the most part. And refresh. You don't need to over tighten the bolts, you risk cracking the panels. There you go. All right. So we got that. Yeah, of course I'm gonna need this big, absolutely chonker of a motor. So all I know is this is blowing out the white pallets. So let's see where. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, putting these together, they're not, you know, too hard to figure out. I'm gonna be that guy. White lithium on it. Probably doesn't need white lithium, but it's a gear. I like putting lithium grease on gears. It is what it is. Okay, so you're gonna go like there. I'm assuming wire down. That makes the most sense. You're gonna go on here. Screws in here. Actually, how am I gonna... That don't make sense. Oh, it goes in, I put it in sideways. It goes sideways. I'm looking at the picture wrong. It's sideways. I'm like, how am I gonna be able to do that thing? Also, I think I need to, oh wait, no, this can go in here. Yeah, that makes it a snap fitting. There we go. There we go. That makes sense. That makes sense. Why such a big motor? Because they're all the same motors. It's like, yeah, you know, you could spec a smaller motor, but then you need 2 different motors for the SKU, right? Sometimes it's easier just to use the same damn motor for everything. Right? When I built, you know, back before kits, when I built my Vorons and my printers before kits, I would just source stepper online, 84 ounce NEMA 17s, and I would buy a dozen of them, right? Like that's what I used to do. I would just buy stepper online, NEMA 17s, 84 ounce ones. I would get buy 8 of them. And then all XYZ extruder, all the same, all the same. For a small printer, this Delta or V2, what do you want? It's up to you. This is a bit bigger than a V2, I think. And it's whatever you want. I'm not your mom. You must build what you feel is right. That makes no sense, but... Just gonna double check that that's tight. So. There we go. All right. Note that you'll need to cut off a part of the BMG mount to clear a screw later on. So I'm assuming it's this little notch here. So, there we go. And then what does it use? Do not over tighten, you risk cracking. And then you tighten it with heat set nuts? Like you literally use an M3 screw with heat sets, M310s, and then just use 2 heat sets the whole, like, okay. Saves us from adding a 50. Oh, because yeah, you don't use M3 nuts anywhere, or you don't use you're not using M3 nuts anywhere, so that you would have to add nuts to the kit just for this. In that case, let's see. There's no washers in the kit either, right? Trying to think of what's in the kit. I don't think there's washers in the kit. Yeah. I would say try and put a washer in there just to spread the load out. But since there are no washers in the kit, maybe make a note that when you put the heat set in, you use the side that's bigger against the plastic instead of the smaller size. Because you know how there's a tapered side to a heat set. One side is more narrow than the other. Maybe have the bigger side against the plastic so you spread the load out more. Just trying to avoid cracking the panel, if that makes sense. Put the heat set on the outside. Oh! That'll work. Yeah, put it on the outside. Good point. Good point. What about a printed washer? Yeah, you can do a printed washer. I'm just trying to think of stuff you would have on hand with the kit, like if it came with the kit, but this works. Until I drop it. Hopefully nothing broke. I don't think anything broke. Took a chunk out of my desk. Have I tried the Hue Forge flat? I have not. I don't really do a lot of Hue Forges. I wish I did more of that kind of printing, but I don't. The majority of printing I do is like structural stuff or stuff that's going to be post-processed lately, or stuff for printer builds. So like I'm trying to get into more projects, and I am working on it. We got the Astromech. I got this online. I've got a couple ideas for some cool Christmas prints or holiday prints. Taking advantage of the big print volume and whatnot. So, but it's like stuff that's either like post-processed. So Hue Forges are just, they're not something I do a lot of, which is kind of sad, I think. Okay. Bowden tube? Where is the Bowden tube? Tube of bow. There's the tube of bow. Smurf Biter. It's a 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Okay, so recommends installing the tube now. So it's gonna suck because that little putting this clip in is not really possible in this setup, unfortunately. I would have had to do that beforehand. Shoot. Like you have to see, can I fit this in here? Don't think I can fit this in here. See if I can put the clip in there.
think I can get this in here. Yeah, there's not enough. Jeez. Well, that's kind of annoying that I can't get that in. I'm gonna have to take that off. Shoot. Okay. See if I can cheat it. 1 second. Yeah, there's one for you. Make sure you make a note, Canrog, to install the Bowden tube with the clip before putting it on the thing. Because once you put this on, you can't put the clip on. So luckily you can, you know, chop it to length and whatnot from this end, so you don't have to worry about that. But you might want, yeah, put a note in that. Install the Bowden tube with the clip, because this is a Bowden setup. It's not reverse Bowden. You need to have that clip. Otherwise, you'll have crappy retractions. So you do need to have that clip. It's not like a reverse Bowden where it's kind of like optional. You need the clip. So you need to put the clip on. Make sure everything is good. Yep. There we go. Okay. So I don't know how far down this goes. How far down does this go? Into there. About that much. Okay, so farthest away, it's right there. About there. There we go. And we're good. Sweet. Okay. So we have that in now. No need to over tighten, risk cracking the panels. It's a good time to cut and install it properly. Install the PTFE in the holder with the little locking clips before mounting this on a top panel. Okay. You might want to put this, the tip, up here before the image, because somebody might do what I do, scroll down to here, because I do this all the time. I know I do this. I know I do it all the time. But somebody might just be scrolling down, do this, and just go and do it. And they're like, what the hell? Why did I can't put the clip in? And then they scroll down and go, oh, tip down here. You might want to move the tips up above the images. You want the image to be the last thing. Humans are dumb. And a lot of times image means last part of step. So having tips after the image, if they don't scroll down, especially the way this guide is laid out, you want the tips, you want everything for the part to be above the image, in my opinion. You want everything for that section to be above the image. After the image could be like a pre-step to the next step, but yeah, sometimes you gotta just give it the tip first. Okay, prepare the top electronics cover. Preparing the top electronics cover. Prepare the top electronics cover by bolting together the M3/8 screws, attach a fan, and gluing in 6 magnets. I have magnets? Where are the other ends of the magnet? Oh, they go on the top there. I don't think I put magnets in the top of that yet. Okay, so M3/8s. I will say I am having a lot of fun with this build so far. M3/8s. There we go. You go there, you go there, you go there. Okay. Again, if you have a big enough printer, you probably could merge all these parts and print them as one single part instead of having to do multiple parts and screw them together. Everything line up perfectly. Only 77 likes. Everyone liked the smash button. Do the thing. Remember, at the end of the stream, we give away a spool of filament from Polymaker and also a really nifty power supply from LDO Motors. And I'm not saying if you like the smash button, ring the bell and are subscribed to the channel. You gotta be subscribed. If you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed? But at the minimum, liking the smash button. I'm not saying if you like the smash button, it increases your odds of winning. But the universe works in mysterious ways. And are you really willing to, wow, English. Are you really willing to whisk it? Are you really willing to whisk it? Oh, hey, the print's done. Behold. Who knows what this is for? Hopefully this works. Tomorrow on the stream, we're going to be, or at least attempting to enclose the Venture XL. So I needed something to... the casters have little rollers that you screw a gear up and down and it locks the wheels down, but they're really annoying to do with your fingers, so that's supposed to make it a little bit quicker or easier. So hopefully, we'll see. Okay, now for this, prepare that and then use M312s. Now is also a good time to glue in the 6 magnets. Okay, check magnet polarity before gluing it to ensure proper attraction between the cover and frame. So I never put, was there a step to put these magnets in? Did I miss that? I could have sworn, I guess I missed that. Okay, well, I guess I missed that. So these screw in 4 M312s and they just screw right into the plastic. Okay. M312s. Okay, I got 3 of them here. 320, M310. Oh, here we go. M312. I guess these just screw into plastic, so you just got to be... Oh, there's only 3. This fan only has 3. It's missing... Is there any specific way this is supposed to go? I'll just go that way. We'll go that way. Why not? I mean, we can always, you know, spin this so it's whatever way works. Doesn't matter now? Okay. So obviously this, be very careful because you are screwing into very thin plastic. So be very careful screwing this in so you don't accidentally over torque it and rip the thread out. Also, is it an exhaust fan or an intake fan? It is an exhaust fan. Sticker on the inside. Oh, sticker on the inside. Okay, so it's a... Okay, so I was putting together backwards. On the inside. Sticker on the inside, but the picture shows this orientation. Intake. Okay, so we go this way. Oh, we'll do that towards the middle then. Yeah, as you can see, you do not have a lot of thread there. New photo, there we go. Okay, and now we gotta put the magnets in, so let's find our magnets. There's the magnets. So here's the funny thing, I found my super glue, so. So the question is, do I need to use super glue? Yes, yes I do. Is my super glue dry? Okay. Fun fact with super glue, be very careful with super glue if you wear contact lenses, because there have been cases where the cyanoacetate fumes dissolve a contact lens and glue it to your face or glue it to your eyeballs. So that is something you need to be aware of with super glue. Yeah, when I worked in the mold shop, there would be guys that would wear safety, like they wore contact lenses to work underneath the safety glasses. I'm like, dude, get prescription safety glasses. One guy got acetone in his eye and he wore contacts, and that was messy apparently. So. So if I install this that way. No, you go there. So I have to install these this way. Okay. So if I install that way, that means this top one should be magnetic. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, it'd be funny, it'd be like, yeah, for the color combo, Like, oh, if Prusa made a delta, but the thing is, Prusa already makes a delta. Well, Prusa Pro delta. Oh shoot. Sure, put this in the right way. Yeah. There we go. And there's still 2 magnets left, which I'm assuming are for the door. Push down all the way. Okay. Off the XX glue. Okay. Install the BTTDZ01 board. Wow, I cannot read today. Okay, so here's the question. Where is that? There it is. BTTDZ01. Okay. So that is this guy. Me fail English? That's impossible. Okay, so what is the proper orientation? I recommend orientate with the USB ports facing to the right towards the B corner. Okay, so basically this way. And then to install it, I'm going to use this. Okay, it doesn't come with screws. We are going to use M36s. Okay. Why use many word when few word make simple? And again, you're screwing into plastic. So be careful not to strip the threads. Okay. Unless they don't want to go in. In that case, you make them go in. There we go. Pro tip, anytime you're screwing something in like this, get all the screws started first and then go around and tighten them. Be nice for a remix with heat sets for the boards. Let's be honest, if you build it right, you only have to put the board in once. So. They won't launch it. Did they say why they won't launch it globally? Like, are you sure these are M36s? They don't want to go down all the way. Okay, that one goes down all the way. That one goes down all the way. That one goes down all the way. There we go. Okay. No idea. I mean, so the advantage is it's what? It's how many steppers on this? This will do five 5 steppers. It's got a built-in controller. So you could power a whole printer with this. It's got, you know, like you could power a whole flipping printer with this. Just this one board. Like most anything 5 steppers or less. So you can run a whole Trident off of this. Or actually, no, Trident's got too many motors. I mean, if you were okay running all the motors together, but, or actually, no. You could run a whole Trident off this if you had a tool head board. Because you got three for the Z, and then XY, and then USB to the tool head board. Yeah, you could run a whole Trident off this one board here. Is it 4? I see 5 caps here. Is it 4 or 5 steppers? Because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 stepper. You have 5 caps here. Or is it 4 motor? Oh. They're not labeled on the top, which is annoying. Is it 4? Yeah. Oh, you can add an expansion for a 5th. Ah. 5th is for the easy stick. Oh, yeah, there's a stick right here. I see. Install the RGB strip. Oh, we got the important parts. Okay. So install the RGB strip on the inside of the chamber using zip ties. Mark over that. Run the LED wire on the LED up to the DZ1 through there. Okay. And the notch in the frame. Okay. So get my NeoPixel strip. So we got LED, LED. Oh, it goes from there to there. Clever. Cannibalize the Manta series. I mean, it kind of makes sense for this kind of use case where it's like, yeah, limited production run, or not limited production run, but like kits. It makes sense for kits. Also, this is kind of annoying because the LED wire's got to come up through this hole right here. This itty bitty cable hole. That ain't gonna fit. So I got to depin it, run the wires through, and then pin it back up. Also, it does have a sticker. So we are gonna stick it, and then we're also gonna do that. So let me take a picture here so I get red, white, black. I think I broke that one. Shoot. Okay. So, let's see. Peel off the backer. So let's see. So if that goes from there to there. Okay, so. I don't see those. English is your 3rd language. What? Where are you from, Canuck? Haven't we met before? Have we met before? I can't remember. I mean, English is my 1st language and I screwed up enough. Norwegian, yeah, we met at Smurf. Okay, yeah. There we go. we got that. And then we got zip ties. Me fail English? That's impossible. So we got, it is a stick-on LED strip, but we also have zip ties for mechanical security, which is nice to see. It is nice to see this. So this way, if you, if the glue fails, you don't have an LED strip falling into your printer during a print. So that's nice. So many notifications. Okay, so what do we got here? We got red, white, black. Okay, and then where does that plug into? RGB strip. So it's the second one in. So RGB is this guy. Ooh, that is. No, that's not tight. We got the stupid broken connector here. See if I can fix it. There we go. That'll hold. There we go. Okay. We got that. We have our antenna, which Wi-Fi here. Where's the front of the printer? This is the front of the printer. So I'm just gonna put the Wi-Fi antenna like, we're just gonna just plug it in for now so I don't lose it. Hate mounting these stupid things. Hate mounting Wi-Fi antennas. It's like they never want to snap on, damn it. There we go. Okay. So wiring. So there's like a little trench that goes up there for the wires. Okay. So we need to connect all our wires. So let's add. So we got some base wires down here. So let's get our Z motors. Also, what do I do with all these extra CF tubes? Because I got 12 of them. Is there a reason I got 12 of them? Because we only need 6. So what are the other 6 tubes for? Yeah, those connectors are really annoying because you use them on FPV quads, and then every now and then they break off because you crash, and then you have to solder them, and it sucks. And I've done it, and it works, but it sucks. Especially when you got like shaky hands like me. Okay, so we should have 3 long and 1 short. So there's the short one. Are these labeled? No. Do we have little label thingies? LDO is usually pretty good with coming in with the label, but I don't see any labels. Dang it. Okay. So, char this side. There's 2 sets for the stock joints and one you want to. I know there's 2 sets. Like there's longer ones, 105 millimeters for the MP jets, but they're a separate container, I think. Because the ones I use are like the 100s. Yeah. Yeah, the MP jet ones are over here. So these are the 105s for the MP jets. Where the 100s are the normals. So the 100s come with 12 of them, though. So they're just extras in case you want to use extras, I guess. I mean, nothing wrong with that, just... Okay. So... that one. So we're plugging in our Z motors here. And then I think there's also, where's the bed thermistor at? Oh, I have to screw that in. Okay, so it's a screw-in thermistor for the bed. I'm like, I only see 2 wires coming off the bed. Where's the thermistor? And it's, you gotta put it on. So I'm assuming it's in one of these bags here. Yeah. There we go, bed thermistor. So let me just go through here just to see what it shows. So, okay, so the wiring, you're pretty much on your own. Okay, so the wiring, you're pretty much on your own. So, bed thermistor screws in. Do I have... I should have something here. Let me just take a quick look. Yeah, bed thermistor. That's lubricant. I thought I had some. Is that a beacon? Oh, that's a cartographer. I thought I had some thermal grease somewhere. I thought I had a little packet of thermal grease somewhere. Oh well. It's not really needed. I just like putting a little bit of thermal grease on these before I screw them in. I know it's not needed. I just like doing it. Yeah, I don't have any. Oh well. I'm not that concerned. It just, you know, helps a little bit with the heat transfer. Connect everything and stuff in the cable channel. That's what I'm doing, but I gotta label my Z motors here. That. Don't want that accidentally coming out. Okay. So we got that, we got that. I'm gonna need a power extension for the bed. Which one's the bed extension? I'm assuming it's the chunkier one. Where's the power switch go? Where's this guy go? And I'm assuming this is bed. Hotend, because this is for Hotend. Cut these little tabs off. So we got Hotend. SKR Pico. Let's go up top. Maybe it goes up top. Stop. Optical end stop. Okay, so these are for the 3 end stops. Okay. This wire is for... Okay, I'm assuming the fans are long enough to make it up there. So what's this guy for? What's this guy for? Is this the bed? It's not labeled. It's thicker gauge than the rest, so I'm assuming the black one is the bed. Watch out. The one labeled Hotend is for the bed. Okay. So the one labeled Hotend is for the bed. Okay, so you color code them. So I'm assuming the black one is for the Hotend. The red and white one is for the red and white one for that. So then I have this guy. It's also a microfit. Where does this guy go? So this goes up top, okay. So I have like these, like, okay, these ones are just extras, I think. Yeah, because these are just DuPont, so they're not being used. Hot end sensor. Oh, is that thermistor? Is this the thermistor extension? This is thermistor extension. Okay, that makes sense. That's thermistor extension. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. So these are everything for the hot end. Hopefully those fans will reach. Wow. Look how long the fans are. Look how long all this extra is. I don't think we need this much extra. I may shorten it. We'll see. Okay, and then that is that. So now I just need to label these A, B, C, D. So I'm assuming, what is this? A? So if this is A, this is the A motor, I'm assuming. So let me label all these. Actually, is that even A? I don't even know if that's A. I just guessed. A, okay, A. This is B. Service loops. B. And then S. So, all of these come out where? I thought there was like a notch for these to come out. Wasn't there like a notch somewhere in the back for these to come out? Oh, right here. Okay. Oh, is the channel inside the frame? The channel inside the frame? It is. Oh, it is inside the frame. Okay. So... there, my delicious drink of my Endstops. A giant order for some V0 kits. They were trying to save money so you can use them here. Not to be a deal for us. Yeah, I mean, the bed on this, it doesn't say a wattage on the bed, but I'm assuming the bed isn't powerful enough to, even if you had the two wires mixed up, but you might want to call it out to ensure that, like, I mean, future kits won't have this issue. So there's really no point coloring it out unless it's like, you know, the black wire goes with the black wire for the hot end, and the white wire goes to the white wire for the thermistor. And then the bed is, you know, the bed. Okay, so now I gotta shove all this through here. So, excuse me while I shove a bunch of stuff in a hole. It's back here. Oh, this is gonna be fun making all this fit through here. With all the, good thing I put tape on everything. Okay, let's do this. One. Bed is 100 watt. Okay. Man, you guys did not leave a lot of room. More clearance, Clarence. More clearance, Clarence. Trying to shove all these ones through first because these are the bigger ones. Oh my God. Yeah, more clearance on this. I mean, it's working. Actually, we're fine on clearance. Except for the fact that that connector ain't fitting through there, so hopefully that's enough wire. Try not to scratch the frick out of my panels here. There we go. Now we gotta shove all that through another hole. Along with all this through another hole. Okay. One. Ooh. Have I tried the Picture Tech Eddie? I think I have it in one printer. It works okay. I've had best luck with beacons. I've tried some of the alternative non-beacon stuff like cartographers, and when they work, they work. But my beacons just work, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm assuming these also gotta go through there. So. Okay, actually, wait, let me put the covers on first. What holds these on? M36. You can remove the motor cover to make it easier. What do you mean, remove the motor cover? Oh, yeah. Doing the sesame. 1. That actually works pretty good as a wire cover. And it's nice because it keeps it all nice and in the print volume. This printer is actually surprisingly enclosed. Like, there's a bit of a gap around the bed, but whatever. What time are we at anyways? Oh, we still got plenty of time. If all goes well, we'll have this built. And that means the next stream will just be programming. Like firmware shenanigans. Okay. Now, how high up does this go? How did this even print? Oh, it prints that way. Okay. Let's see. How high up does that go? Will that leave a gap? That will leave a gap. Okay. Go. There should still be room. Yeah, there's still room to get the other wires through, so that's good. This is coming together really good. Like, this thing looks clean. This looks cleaner than more clean than it has any right to be, I think. Fans through. Who's gonna go see Avatar? I will. I like the Avatar movies. I'll be that guy. I like the Avatar movies. Yes, it's Pocahontas in space. Cool, whatever. You know what? They are visually appealing, and it's something different. I like the Avatar movies. Okay. So now we have a little bit of this. My old arch enemy. Cable wrap. Which means I'm going to pull all these back out. Because I can put this in easier with the tool. I do it all at once. Where's my cable wrap tool? Uh-oh. On the other side of the garage. Is it over here? I think I used it over here. Did I use it over here? I did use it over here, but where did I put it over here? Oh no! The cable wrap tool, really? Did I misplace it? I specifically made a bunch of cable wrap tools, and I don't know where I put them all. They were in the drawer here, and I don't know where they all went. I got one. There we go. There we go. So these aren't proper tools because they should have a slot in it so that I can easily slide the cable in, but it worked good enough for this. This ain't working. Oh well. Ain't working the way I want it to work. Oh well. Working good enough though. Working good enough. Whatever. Good enough. Come on. It's always the end part that's set. Come on. Get in your stupid sleeve. There we go. Okay. And now flip it around. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then put a zip tie on that. Put a zip tie on that. Dang. Where'd I put my zip ties? Where did I put all the zip ties? I just had them all. There they are. Ballant V, 2,000 Hungarian funny monies. Cheers and appreciate it. Did the Hungarian dollar go up or the Google or YouTube American dollar go down? Usually I think that is green and now it's yellow. The color of your super chat is depending on the amount, but it's adjusted for, it's like $2 and under is green, 5 is like blue or whatever, or 5 is yellow. I can't remember what it is, but anyways, didn't that used to be blue or green? So does that mean $1 went up and $1 went down and now it's in a different bracket? I don't know, because it takes into account exchange rate. Or am I just completely out of it and I'm talking out my ass? Hungarian Florence doing a little bit better. Yeah, that's good. How are things in Hungary? How are things in Hungary? USA, I know. It kind of sucks as a content creator that gets paid in American dollars. Like, it's great because I'm Canadian and I get paid in American, so yay. But when the American dollar is not doing good, it kind of sucks. Also, the whole fact that, like, you know, my job is really reliant on the economy doing good so that you guys have disposable income to support the channel. The downside of being a streamer is when you rely on your audience for direct support instead of like spamming them with ads. If the economy ain't doing good. Why do you think the best time to be a streamer was during COVID after everyone got their stim bucks? There we go. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I was talking with my wife. You guys don't need to hear about conversations with... When I'm looking over there and I'm just kind of talking, I'm talking to my wife. She's off to work. No, we needed to replace the headlights on her car because one of them died. So we got some headlights and they're the wrong kind. You know, it says they're the right kind. So, I don't know. So, what do we got here? Shoot. I have fan 1 and fan 2. Which one's fan 1? We're going to roll the dice and say fan 1 is the hot end fan. And fan 2 is the part fan. I mean, it's easy fix if I'm wrong. But, so fan 1 goes in fan 1. Fan 2 goes in fan 2. Does that work? That works. And if I got to swap them, I'll swap them. Okay. And then we have our hot end heater, which is this guy. This has 3 heaters. Wow. Okay. So this is way too long. I am going to shorten this because this is absurd. So I'm going to shorten this. This is just absurd. This was organized at one point. I need a flathead screwdriver. I think my shoot. Oh, got a flathead right. Okay, so Hotend goes in Hotend. For those that don't know, there is no difference between positive and negative with hot ends, so you just bed is this guy. I don't think it matters which is which for the bed either, positive or negative. I mean, it kind of does. There's a thermal fuse, but not really. Yeah, I know it doesn't matter. I know there's a thermal fuse, so technically you want it like on the fuse cutting out the live line, not the neutral, but I don't think it really matters. Or is it the other way? I can't, whatever. Don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay, bed thermistor. Is so hot end fan, part fan, controller fan. So fourth one is the one goes here. So it's going to go through that little wire trap thing, plug in there. This one I am going to shorten because this is just absurdly long. So we're going to shorten that one. Not really needed. You could just zip tie it, but we got time, and I'm just finishing up the... Lee Smith, you gave me a live grenade. Okay, somebody caught up to episode 3 of Pluribus. Dude, I watched episode 4 last night. I think I figured it out. I think they've given enough hints on how the hive mind is communicating, I think. I think they've given enough hints. Oh, that's X. JST. What is Pluribus? It's a show on TV by Vince Gilligan, the guy who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And it's kind of, I guess you can kind of say it's a sci-fi show, but it's not really, like science fiction. Like, it's best if you don't know anything about the show going into it. At least right now. But I'm really enjoying it. And it has been a hot minute since I've watched the show as the show airs. So what's the show? Pluribus. It's on Apple TV or the high seas if you don't have Apple. Because I refuse to subscribe to more stuff. I got enough subscriptions. I'm not subscribing to any more shit. All right, so the hot end, which was the longer one, plugs into here. Okay, so that's the hot end. Now, RGB strips plugged in, okay. Now we got our motors. So we got the B motor. Okay, so we got A, B, C, and then extruder. Okay, so which one's A? A, B, A, A. So A on mine. Very cool. C is C. So I'm gonna put this one here, let's see. Okay, C. Okay, that can go right there. And now, last one is the extruder, which is really short. So if you can't figure out where the extruder goes, you need help. And that goes right here. Okay. We got the Wi-Fi. I will stick the Wi-Fi to the front here. There you go. where am I gonna store all this? Because problem is, we have a fan right over here. Oh wait, we still have to install these guys. Endstops. How do these plug in? Where do these all go? Are there holes by these? Or do I gotta... Oh, they are little holes. Okay, this is gonna suck. I gotta de-pin all the end stops. You can't do sensorless on a Delta, can ya? Why is there always one that doesn't want to pop out? There we go. There's always one that never wants to pop out. Come on. There we go. Okay, where's the hole on this one? Right there. All right, so what do we got here? We got, make sure they're the same. Red, black, white. These are different. Okay. These are wired up differently on each end. These are wired up differently on each end. So, one end says optical end stop, one end says stop. Probably should have that in the manual. Does it say that anywhere in the manual? It doesn't say that anywhere in the manual. It doesn't say that anywhere. So I'm assuming the side that says optical end stop goes into the end stop, and the side that just says stop goes into the board. I'm assuming. Sumimasen. It won't matter. It does when the power goes to different things. Because on one end, the power is plugged into the right pin, and on the other end, the power is plugged into the left pin. So depending on where you plug it in, the power is going somewhere different. So yeah, it does matter. Yeah, it does matter. Look at the pinout of the board. Well, it's not in the manual, and this is the thing, we're following the manual. The manual doesn't specify this. On the board, power is on the left. So, like, this side is power. So, okay, the side that says stop plugs into the board then. Okay. The side that says stop plugs into the board then. Because if I didn't look, I would have just gone click, 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 and I wouldn't have checked this. A lot of people would not have checked this. So black, white, red. Yeah, this could have if they were wired straight through, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, like here's the thing. Like, look, I'll show you exactly. Okay, so they're opposite. So if you plug this in, power's on the right, power's on the left on this one. So if you plug this into your board, it's giving power out the red. If you plug this in, power's coming, like it's different. So. Forget these to unpin. Why don't you want to unpin yourself? Come on. Let's see if I can pop this out. Let's see. Try something else. Let's try it this way. Let's just loosen this and see if I can slide it through. See if this is quicker. No. It's a lot harder now that I have everything in. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. One more left. Don't forget, we do have the giveaway at the end of stream. If you have not entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament or an LDO 24/5 volt power supply, enter for your chance now because we will be doing the draw at the end of stream. So if you haven't entered yet, you got to hurry up and do it. Oh, this one just go through here. Okay, so it's easy. Son of a bitch. If I go... Nope. Black, white, red. Right. Black, white, red. Black, white, red. Wait, did I do that backwards? I did that backwards. Shit. I went backwards. Why is this one different than the other ones? It is right. Oh, I just put this one. No? Why is this one different than that one? Shit, one of these I did backwards. Shit, one of these I did backwards. Oh, because I see what I did. I see what I did. It's because Yep, this one I did backwards. I did this one backwards because I didn't realize that the stupid thing was backwards. This was the one I pinned without realizing it's backwards. Son of a bitch. Okay. Black. White. Red. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. Now you plug into there. There we go. That makes more sense. There we go. That makes sense. There we go. Okay. Okay. A Endstop is that one. So skip one, A, B, C. And those are all wired up the same. Okay, good. So now I just got to make this look pretty, and then we can put the lid on. Okay, so I love how this has a micro HDMI screen on it. Okay. Should I power test it first? YOLO. I don't even know where the power switch goes. Does it go in, like, where's the actual barrel jack go? Power in, but where's the barrel jack install? Like, where do you put the barrel jack? It doesn't show it anywhere on here. Like, I have a barrel jack, but where does it go? Like, where does it mount? I don't know where it mounts. Inside the top? Where? Oh! It installs in the thing I've been using to hold all my wires. Of course. Of course. Here I was thinking this was a nice little thing to hold your wires. Then I gotta take all my wires out of this thing. I was like, oh, this is a nice little thing to clip all your wires into. I was like, oh, this I'll put all my wires in here. Okay. So, this is the back. I'm assuming this goes like this then. I wouldn't really call it, well, okay, triangle from that angle. Do we go this way? Or do we go this way? Does it really matter? I'm assuming we go this way because this is where the power is going to have to come in. The manual say? Manual didn't say anything. Manual didn't even say where this goes. So... Okay, according to this, that's the red, that's the negative. Okay, so now I need to figure out how we're going to cable manage all this mess. You know what? We will power it up. We will power it up just to make sure I'm not a complete fool. I may mod this to put the panel power switch on the bottom, because now you got to have this also in here with the big old nugget. So this goes here. So now we got to fit this whole thing in here, because that kind of does that. That's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. The fact that you have to have this hanging out like this, it's kind of annoying. Would have been nice if it had like a inlet on the side that you plugged it into. There are some brackets to hold the wire in the back. Okay. I mean, what do I have left? I've got this. I don't know what this is for. Oh, this is for that. And then we have this. Guessing that's that. So there's no on and off switch either. There's no on and off switch. It's just contact. Okay, I got some red lights. There's no screen either, so... Okay, it seems to be working. It's the last step in the manual. Install the cable hook. Oh, I see it right there. Okay. All right. Cable management time. Yay. So this is going to be annoying. Pull the motor wires into the base. Good idea there. That's one of them there good ideas. Let's go do that. Let's do that. Let's pull them motor wires down yonder into them there base. Tuggy tug tug tug. So the problem is I got wires that do. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. There we go. So we got all those ones are nice, taut in the base. There we go. Is there any way to, you know what? I'll just do this. I'll do this. Remember how we were all like back in the day, it's like you gotta twist your wires so they don't get all interference. Now we're just like, yeah, no, dog, zip tie them all together. More zip ties. More zip ties. Just don't want them touching the bed. Only thing I'm a little worried about is just, I'm like, I don't want the wires touching the bed. Is there a bottom panel on this? There isn't. Wait. I know. One? That's it? Okay, well. I mean, sure, it's covered in dog hair, but it'll work. There we go. There we go. Actually, where is the little pads I'm supposed to put on the bottom of this too? These them? These are them. Foot pads. Put these foot pads on. Nobody tells Steve. Yeah. No bottom panel. Steve's over in Germany right now having fun with CNC Kitchen play with Nerf guns. Oh, that's going to be much easier to cable manage now that, you know, half of that's gone. Okay. Jealous much? Me? No. No. Yes. Of course I wish I was, you know, of course I wish I was over in, I'd gone to Form Next. There we go. Next year, hopefully. We'll see. The problem is by the end of the year, I've like, I can't travel a lot. Like I travel too much. Like, for those that don't know, the reason I went full-time YouTube was, you know, so we had a parent at home all the time with the little guy. Working through some stuff. It was good to have a parent at home all the time, right? So now I'm Mr. Mom. I'm stay-at-home dad, basically, right? So the problem is, every time I want to go somewhere for like an event or whatever, my wife has to take time off work. Okay, all those came off. All the little sticky things came off. Every single one of them came off. So we gotta... let them stick. Okay. So the problem is by the end of the year, by like this time of the year, you know, there's basically no time left. Like my wife's used up all her vacation time. I've annoyed my mom enough getting her to watch the little guy every now and then. So it's just kind of like, logistically, by the end of the year, it's like hard to get time off. It's hard to get the time to go do something. Gave up on the stickies and put TPU. I mean, you might have to just let them, give them some time to like set. Sometimes you just gotta let it, like, you know. Hoping I don't need the Ethernet. or the micro HDMI, but whatever. There we go. I mean, in a perfect world, I think all we need is the USB and access to the SD, which is right there. So we're good. There is a switch here. I don't know what this switch does. Hopefully I didn't bump it and it's in whatever default position. Also, it shouldn't have to flash anything, so we'll see. Okay, and now we have roller fan is in this one. So, oh, probably goes over that. There we go. There we go. Okay, why aren't you going down all the way? What are you using? Oh. Oh, because we have a ton of wires above this. So. What are you catching on? What are you catching on? Oh, it's these guys. I don't think it really matters. There we go. Behold! And we've lost them already. There we go. So I do have to put like a spool holder and some stuff on, but we could do that next stream. But for all intents and purposes, this is on now. This is, it's built. We have to put the panels on. We have to put the door on still. And a little bit of cable management because the power supply, unfortunately, just kind of comes along with the printer for the ride, I guess. Are you literally being held up by that? That is that, yeah. But we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's do a giveaway. We will do the LDO giveaway first, and then we will do the other one. Okay, let's do this giveaway. So you still have a chance to enter for some polymaker filament. If you did not enter, you will have another chance on tomorrow. But you still have time to enter for the polymaker now because we're doing that giveaway first. So Control copy, names, A, delete, Control V, file, save. And if you didn't go down and enter for your chance to win the filament, you still have time. Go do that now. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Best way to support the channel. Okay. Do you plan on indexing a Core 1? If I get a kit for an index, I will. I did not purchase one. But if I do get my hands on a kit, of course I will build one. Okay, 242. Random bots 242. So this is for LDO's power supply that they're giving away as part of this build series. If you win, you will get contacted by Jason. And good luck. Good luck. We only do the extra prize on the polymaker. Just so you're aware. Yeah, the DZ01 board, I guess, is they don't sell it by itself. I think it's like it only comes with kits. So that goes on there. That's that. Oh. I put this filament in here, I guess. Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead now? Marcel. Okay, we got our little piece of filament in our spool holder. Make it move a little bit better. And then this mounts on there. And then this just slots. Oh, that's wow. That's cool. It comes off. That's cool. And then some hinges. So we'll finish it up mechanically. This did not take long. No, it did not. No, it did not. They sold outside of a few partners for a retail machine that fell through, so I was playing much all these. Oh, so they made them for a, okay. So it was meant to be, so the DZ01s was meant for a specific use case that fell through. So they just kind of, LDO got their hands on them and used them for this kit. Makes sense. Okay, Trevor Jones is our winner. So let me just find your email here. Trevor Jones. Oh, caps lock off, that's what it is. So you are our winner, Trevor. Congratulations on winning yourself a power supply from LDO Motors. It's a really nice power supply. Hope you make good use of it. Go. Oop, I got a notification. Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, so now main menu, go back to the main menu. Let me get the next one set up here. So that was the LDO. Publish, no more responses, save, responses, link to sheets, create. Okay. Copy, Control V, files, save, erase. Add the names, clear, open, 258, 257, random, bots, 257, play. There we go. This printer looks really cool. I wish it had a handle. The only thing I'm slightly worried about is the fact that the top's only held on with magnets. So if you grab it, like, that just comes off. And you gotta be careful because of the fan. But that is really cool. That is really nice. Like, good old magnets. Good old magnets. Okay. So how this works is if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker. But if I pick your ball out and your ball wins, you also get a free hat. Who's this ball right here? Captain Caveman. If you win, you get a free hat along with your spool of filament from Polymaker. Good luck. Also, the power supply. Would be nice if they're. You know what? You could probably fit a small. Like how big is this power supply? It is 24 volts, 200 watt. So if you have a very compact 200 watt, you could probably fit it underneath if you knew what you were doing. Although I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't design the inlet to go like down here somewhere and then just run the power up to the thing. But it's not like it's high voltage. It's 24 volts, so it's low voltage. Oh, Stuart. Oh, Stuart in the lead with a snipe. Fit a UHP. I mean, well, here, we'll finish this off and then I'll, oh, Stuart. Oh, Stuart. Oh, Stuart. Congratulations, Stuart. How much of a, wow. Wow, look at that lead. Stuart Fisher. Oh, and he's in chat too. Well, congratulations. We're not even going to wait for the ghost. Stuart. There you go. And that is a very amicable size. Okay. That's what she said. Okay, congratulations, Stuart. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. So you'll get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. That was fun. This build is going together really good, and it's going together too fast. So the plan is not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be faffing around with the Venture XL. I need to get it enclosed because I need to start printing stuff for builds. So tomorrow, I'm going to go out and buy some panels to try and enclose it. I'm going to try and use some insulation panels. The same kind of panels Luke's Labs use for enclosing his high-temp machines. Because I don't just need an enclosure, I need insulation. Because it's going to get chilly in my garage. And that side of the garage isn't heated. So, yeah. So unfortunately, I have to insulate the printer. So, and it's also a big printer. So it does, the fact that that printer heats up my garage is enough to tell me it puts out a lot of heat. I just got to trap that heat. So that will be tomorrow. We're going to be enclosing the big guy. And then hopefully getting it set up for its like permanent home so we can actually print quality sorted. I mean, this is PLA, but I don't know about you. That seems pretty good. 0.6 nozzle, 0.3 layer height. I also printed a dwarf helmet just to make sure that PETG actually prints good too. But just to put it in perspective, this was the best print I got out of it in terms of a helmet from before versus now. And these are both colors that do not show up good on camera, but let's just say it's looking a lot better. Yeah. I don't even know why I have that helmet. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. We're gonna end the stream there. Huge shout out to LDO Motors for providing the kit that we used for this build series. If you want to grab one of these Delta Flyer kits for yourself, check out wherever fine LDO products are sold. They sell through a bunch of different resellers. Fabrico, West 3D are two of the big ones, but there's tons of them. Depends on where you live. Canada, Sparta 3D, they carry some of them. So it's gonna depend on where you live, which kit you use. So there you go there. So shout out to LDO for materially sponsoring this stream. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for all of them and more in the video description. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way to supporting the channel. Some of them, like Gamer Subs, use code Canuck, save some money. And for those that donate to the channel, gift to membership sellers, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. And yeah, we're gonna call it there. I'll see you tomorrow for some Venture XL faffing about, but this time fun stuff. We're enclosing it, hopefully. And we'll finish this up hopefully on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend, be safe out there, wash your hands, and I'll see you in the future.